After spending $1,000, I quit my first game. The game where I poured my heart, soul and all my savings into. Stick around to find out why it crumbled apart and what hope do I still have. Before diving into the most unique journey of my life, I just want to remind you, if you'd like to support my channel, you can wishlist my dream game using the link in the description. So my game development journey actually started with physics, not game physics, but real life physics. Back in college I realized I was good at it. After that I tried to pursue a career in physics, but I gave up before even landing my first job. Honestly, it felt like I had no future at all. Then a small spark of an idea hit me, the idea of playing music. It started in my childhood when I bought a clarinet on eBay, actually a broken one. So with my first paycheck and a little help from my mom, I went all out and bought an expensive synth, the Artorias MK2, to finally learn how to play. By this time I was deeply inspired by music from Genshin Impact. Around that time I also started learning pixel art. I loved copying art from their souls and it gave me so much joy. That's when I realized I want to make games. And the next step was learning programming. I took a 2D game course on Udemy, but even then I have my eyes on the course by David Valley, the creator of The First Tree. After saving some money, I dove in the world of 3D. Within a month, I made my first 3D game, adding my own twists to what I learned from the course. I even made a launch trailer for it and tried to get some attention on Reddit. That was just the start. So it was time when I was ready for my second 3D game. And who knows, maybe even a dream project. It all began with me spending around $600 on assets. One of them is hilarious ugly Mirk. I decided it is time for my dream game to come true. The idea, a game like Choo Choo Charles, but with a massive shark chasing the Mirk. The Meerkat would have its own ship to escape the shark and learn how to defeat it. This was my dream game coming true. As I started transforming my game from a mess to something visually appealing, I felt strange. With every step I became more and more drained. After dedicating 4 months of my life and pouring my soul into this project, I realized I had to make the hardest decision ever. I quit my dream game. I spent over $1,000 on assets and learning, only for my dream game crumble into an illusion, leaving me feeling lost and even depressed. It feels like the end, but I am a slow learner, so maybe there was a still chance for me. Maybe 3D it wasn't for me, but 2D it was still unexplored territory. I took Thomas Bra's course for making 2D game, and honestly it gave me hope. I believed I could create a solid demo in a year and finally become a full-time game dev. It was the first time in a while I felt lucky. I started dreaming bigger, not just about making games, but finding my forte in music, drawing or even storytelling. I thought, what if I could become the next Toby Fox or even create my own Hollow Knight? But after 8 months of progress, 8 months of nothing, it all fell apart. It's hard to explain, but it felt like I teleported from a moment of hope to the depth of game dev hell. My piano skills still sucked. Even though I have made some progress, it didn't felt as enough at all. Almost a year had passed, and my confidence was completely shattered. On top of that, I needed a full-time job. My time to hone skills, or even just make asset flipping games, was slipping away. Desperate for any spark of hope, I started waking up at 4 AM every day. In my frustration, I reached out to game developers, musicians, and even YouTubers for advice. I was ready to get a ton of rejections, but that's when something incredible happened. One day, while scrolling through my emails after a long, exhausting day at work, I saw a reply from Rene, the creator of my favorite indie game, Doomkeeper. I was so excited that I didn't even open it right away. Instead, I finished all my important tasks at home, sat down to relax and prepared myself for what I thought would be a rejection, but instead he shared the most important advice I could have ever imagined. He said, making 10 games in 10 weeks with feedback will improve you more than working on one game for 4 years. That advice struck me hard. Being contacted by one of my favorite creators and learning how to become a game developer without much stress gave me an incredible burst of energy and focus. Now I am more confident than ever before about my future, and I cannot wait to release my first 10 micro games and finally start my journey toward making my dream game. If this story resonated with you, I'd love your support. Check out my Steam page for the dream game in the description. It means the world to me.